start. We'll start in mountain pose. So just continue to set up and prepare yourself for your practice. Just take your time. And eventually just make your way up to standing. We'll just meet together here in mountain pose. And standing with your feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. You might even start with a few deep breaths. You might breathe in through your nose. You can exhale through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Even add some movement here. Just check in with your body. I might even invite you to just create some circles with your shoulders. We're going to be working our shoulders and our back today. Good. So just continue to tune into breath. These slow, steady breaths as you arrive. And continue to connect. Just move inward. Good. As you breathe in, you may feel your breath rising upward. Fill up your lungs. Nice expansive feeling up top. That's it. And as you exhale, draw your navel inward towards your spine. Just that light contraction of your abdominal muscles. Good. The abdominal lock. Again, we'll inhale, just feel the lengthening of your spine growing tall, filling up your lungs. And as you exhale, just draw belly in, connecting. And a few more times like that as you move a little deeper within. More aware, more present. There. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths. Prepare your body to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Reach all the way up. Just treat it like a nice stretch. There. And exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and just take your time as you fold. You might touch your toes, or this might be a partial fold where your hands just land at your shins. Then inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit. Only rise up halfway, so your back is flat and long. It feels like you're at a table. And exhale, back down to a forward fold. We're going to hold here for several breaths. Again, this could be a partial fold, or you might bend your knees more so you can touch your toes. Perhaps you feel a heaviness in the body, especially if you're just hanging heavily forward here. And if that's the case, feel loose. Again, rolling the shoulders a few times. Check in with your head and neck. You might even nod yes a few times. Shake your head no. Do that in slow motion. Just be gentle in the neck. You might even sway your upper body left and right. Aware of the curvature of your spine, that rounded feeling, even a stretch sensation down through the legs. And of course, an awareness of your breath. Let's do another halfway lift here. So an inhale, slide your hands up the legs, long flat back. Feel like you're coming forward, leading with the crown of your head. And exhale, back down we go, a slow fold. Get ready to stand first. We'll shift the weight back into the heels. Bend your knees like you're about to sit down. Extend your spine, then out with the arms. Inhale, rising up, reaching into the air. As you exhale, you can bring your palms together down to your heart or arms to your side, either one. We'll just hold for a moment as you return to the standing position. Still feeling tall and light. We'll go through our half salute once again. Whenever you're ready, inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up. Feel the energy in your arms. Exhale, lead with heart, fold forward, bending your knees as much as you need to. Again, just carefully make your way down. Keep it flowing. As you inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, extending your spine, creating the long, flat back. Exhale, back down. A full release here as you're able. Your weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Let's inhale, reverse the swan dive and come all the way back up. Get a little taller if you can. Reach higher. Exhale, hands to heart or arms to your side. Yes. Keeping this full presence and awareness of the body. Again, we're going to be working with shoulders and our backs today. Let's continue with our sun salutation. Inhale, sweep the arms into the air. Exhale, fold forward. Always moving at your own pace. Don't forget you can modify at any time, rest at any time. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs. Long, flat back, half forward fold. This exhale, fold. Bend your knees a lot so you can bring your hands all the way down to the floor so you can walk or step or even jump both feet back to plank pose. We're going to hold here for several breaths. Feel the strong straight line you're creating in the body and energy moving through the crown of your head, even through the heels of your feet. Push into the mat with the hands as if you're trying to push yourself farther away from the floor. Here we go, breathe in. And exhale, bend your knees a little to send your hips up into the air, our shortcut to downward facing dog. And of course, you can do that anytime in your practice. As you feel the hips float into the air, creating that inverted V shape. Yeah, also make an adjustment with your feet and your hands. Arriving in this pose, hold in stillness or add movement here as it feels good. Take one more breath. And we'll get ready to move on the next breath. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, core engagement. Yes, bend your knees so you can walk, step, or even hop both feet. Yes, up to the top of the mat. Return to your forward fold here. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Here's our weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse the swan dive. Come up, reach high. The exhale, just take chair pose. Let's just sit back and be a high seat, or you can sit down low. Your arms might be straight at first, but go ahead. Then bend your elbows. Yeah, and bring them to 90 degrees right there. And here's our kind of our first back and shoulder movement. We're going to draw the arms back as if you were kind of stuck in a doorway and you're trying to go through it. Okay, so you feel kind of the stretch sensation across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. But then also imagine you might have a pencil right along the spine and you need to squeeze it. Okay, here we go. Breathe in right there. And exhale, we'll dive out of the seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. Feel that release. Inhale, monkey pose. That's our halfway lift. Exhale, all the way down we go. Plant your hands into the mat. Hop, step, or walk. Both feet back, plank pose. Another pause here. Tap into that strength in your plank position. Now with the exhale, you can take that same shortcut to down dog. Or with the exhale, finish your push-up. Bend your elbows, lower your way down. It certainly can be your knees to the floor first, then your chest. Your inhale is a back bend. It could be a low cobra or sphinx or upward facing dog. And exhale, onto your toes, float the hips up into the air. Make the adjustment with feet and hands. Arriving in your posture, take your time. Let's continue with a lunge. Inhale, extend your right leg up behind you. Yes, good. Exhale, let's step the right foot up to the top of the mat. Once you've landed up top, take your time. Left heel will turn to the floor. A weight shift back into that foot so you feel rooted and connected. Elongate through the spine. Then we'll hinge from hips. Rise up to Warrior One. Again, we're going to pause right here in our Warrior One and bend elbows. Just the same thing we did before. Pull arms back. Feel the stretch across the chest. Squeeze the imaginary pencil. Okay, we're going to inhale, shoot the arms straight up. Exhale, fold. Hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Finishing the sequence as you'd like. Modify if you need to. Choose a different sequence if you'd like. We'll just meet together in downward facing dog. Same thing other side. Whenever you're ready, inhale, extend left leg up, straight and strong. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Yeah. You can pick up the foot and place it there. Right heel will turn to the floor. Feel that groundedness. Aligned body rising up, warrior one. Hold on the exhale. Again, you'll bend elbows to about 90 degrees. Walk through your imaginary doorway. Feel the pencil along the spine. Okay, the back muscles, okay, the muscles that run down the back. Okay, squeezing. Inhale to shoot the arms straight up. Exhale, hinge and fold right back down. Plant the hands. Slide that left foot back to meet the other. Finish your sequence. Yes, take your time. Moving with breath. Arrive in your down dog. A breath or two. I'm going to the floor here, so kneel down, bring your knees to the floor. You might sit back briefly in hero. Then off to the side, swinging the legs around to the front. Sit in the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Go ahead and draw your knees into chest. And do any movement that might feel good here. Turn the fan on high for a moment. It gets a little loud, but good. Let's go ahead and set the feet onto the floor. Now the feet can be hip distance apart, or you can take them wider, whatever feels good for your back or your hips. When you're ready, an inhale to fill up your lungs. Exhale, core connection. Then lift hips up into the air. There we are. And once you've lifted, you can always use your hands to help lift yourself up, or slide a block underneath you if you have one nearby. Or your arms can just be flat and long on the ground, or bend your elbows so they're at 90 degrees and press down into the mat with the backs of your arms, using the shoulders, your triceps, and see if that helps to stabilize and lift the upper body a little bit more. Once you've found your posturing here, a few deep breaths, really filling up your lungs, right up to the collarbones. Exhale, you're still engaging your core, belly draws in, even though you're in this back bend. Take 2 more breaths. Yes. Good job. All righty. Coming out of the pose, you might wiggle the feet forward a little bit, extend your arms straight up into the air to create space in your back, yes, and then lower your way down. Soft landing. And once you've come all the way down, go ahead and extend the legs out front, reach your arms behind you, an active stretch. Reach in these opposite directions, get long. Let's draw the knees into chest. Once again, you're going to rock forward and back, creating a momentum and energy. Use breath to help rock your way up to seated. You can always roll to the side to lift yourself up, and just find boat pose. Just like in our bridge, we have many variations of the posture. For me, this is a nice starting point. I like to hold on to the legs to help extend the spine, bent knees, active feet. Sometimes I'll release, and then go back to holding on sometimes, even extending the legs. Let's breathe in. Feel like you're floating up off the floor. Then exhale, cross legs, either hands to the side or in front, hop or step back, plank pose. Again, hold for strength, pushing into the mat. Set your right knee onto the floor. Just your right knee, and swing your right foot off to the right side. It might even swing off the mat. We're going to right side plank. Just going to turn sideways, opening up towards the left side of the room. Using the variation of keeping the knee on the floor, yes. And the left hand reaching up into the sky. You can stay just like this. You can shift the weight into your right hand so that maybe the left foot could lift up off the floor, just as an option if you want. We're breathing in. And exhale as carefully turn. Bring the left hand to the floor. Go ahead and bring the left knee to the ground. Bring that kickstand back in. Let's take few breaths, maybe 2 or 3 breaths, cat and cow. So an inhale, lift head and heart. Arching the back, exhale, round it all out. Belly button pulls up towards spine. Just continue on your own, just like that. Good. Feeling the undulation of the spine, that movement of the pelvis. And with this action, we're also getting into the shoulders, because since the torso is moving, it involves the shoulders even though we're not moving the arms. So we just have an awareness of your shoulders in this posturing too. Let's do side plank on the other side. So we'll make a kickstand with the left foot, just swings out to the side. You can extend the right leg back, the toes can stay on the floor, and then opening up to your right side of the room. Right hand reaching up, nice opening. Stay just like this. That foot can stay anchored on the floor, or shifting weight forward into the left hand, just a change of center of gravity, so the right foot could lift if you wanted to. We're breathing in, and our exhale, our careful return to the earth, right hand, right knee, bring the kickstand back in. Another 2 breaths, cat and cow. After that second breath, just set yourself up for downward facing dog. From down dog, and inhale to extend right leg up. Hold there as you exhale and feel the body get a little longer. More action perhaps in the hands as they press into the earth. Strong arms, which activates your shoulders here too. Okay. Let's open the hip by bending the right knee. Heel will come down toward your backside, a little lift of the knee. Feel the body kind of naturally rotate open towards the right side of the room. Inhale right where you are. Your exhale to unwind, and we'll step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel will turn to the floor. Find your centering. Hands will be light. Rise up. Your exhale, go ahead and open it to a warrior 2. Yeah, make your adjustments there so you feel solid. Right knee and toes pointing forward. There we are. With the arms, flip the palms up, then flip them down, okay? Do that again, but pay attention to the shoulders. When you flip your palms up, how the whole shoulder has to rotate back, or an outward spiral, alrighty? And then draw the elbows in towards your ribs, actually feeling like they're moving towards your back body, okay? And if you can, engaging the back muscles. Again, opening up through the chest. Let's take the arms back out, flip the palms down. Notice the inner spiral of the shoulders. And then our side angle pose. Reach out, rotate here. Excellent. Stay in this position, but bring your left hand down behind you, perhaps to your low back. If you have mobility in the shoulder, maybe 2 or 3 circles of this left shoulder. Roll it back. And when you're done, just hold it back. Again, kind of walking through that imaginary doorway, opening up through the heart. Again, paying attention to how the shoulder works with our arm movement. So from here, extend your left hand to the back of the room, like you're reaching for that back door with a clock on the wall. Slowly bring it up towards the ceiling. And then over your head, imagine you're swimming in like a freestyle stroke here. Turn your body facing forward. Good, and then bring both hands down to the floor in front. Step back, plank pose. Hold right there. We'll take another shortcut into downward facing dog. You do the same thing on the other side. So first your inhale to extend left leg up, reach, hold on the exhale, get longer and stronger. Hands rooted, strong straight arms, activation of the shoulders, bend and twist open. So you'll bend your knee, there it is. The knee will lift slightly, hip opener. Breathe in, and your exhale to unwind, step through. Warrior 1 setup. Once you've landed up top, right heel turns to the floor. Find your center, rising. Good, exhale, opening warrior 2. Settle in, arrive. Nice wide stance, there it is. Outstretched arms, energy through your fingers. Feel like you're going to touch either wall here. Again, paying attention to the shoulders as you flip the palms up and flip them back down. Just the rotation of the arms there. One more time, flip them up. Keep them up. Bring elbows in towards ribs or towards mid-back or low back. Squeeze. Open up through the chest. Take a breath. Let's re-extend the arms, flip the palms down, inner spiral of the arms. Here comes our side angle. Reach out, rotate here. You can always stay up high in the pose, which I typically do, but you can always go down lower, perhaps even touching the ground or a stack of blocks. You're going to bring your right arm down behind you, your hand resting on your low back. So mobility in the shoulder, roll the right shoulder back a couple times, and then hold it back. Just allowing for that little space that between the shoulder and the pectoral muscles there. Okay, just to kind of lightly stretch. Same big wave actions where we extend the right hand behind you to the back wall. Notice the rotation of the arm and shoulder. Slowly take it up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Over your head, take that freestyle swimming stroke. Turn, fold. Hands to the floor in front. We'll step back, plank pose. You can take that same shortcut to down dog or complete your series as you'd like. Perhaps chaturanga, to an up dog, to downward facing dog. Breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, walk, step or hop, both feet up to the top of the mat, stay on your feet. Inhale, long spine, lifting halfway up, or just get that nice extension. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reaching up, get nice and tall. Hold here on the exhale. Palms are probably facing each other, just kind of a natural rotation for the shoulders. As you're able, just reach up a bit higher, lengthening, and see if the arms get a little closer towards the ears. Okay. Inhale, reach with the fingertips. Exhale, you probably naturally flip the palms out and down as you bring the arms down. And then bring the hands behind you as if you're going to reach for the back corners of your mat. Reach, outstretched hands, strong straight arms, and squeeze to center like you're holding onto a box. Shoulders will roll back. Stay just like this, or if you're able, interlace your fingers here. Even reach towards the floor with your knuckles. This may allow you for you to roll the shoulders back more and squeeze more to the center, squeezing the imaginary pencil. We're going to take a little chair pose, so bend the knees slightly, just let them jet forward, and just tip, so you're kind of in chair, right there. Still reaching back with the knuckles, even if your hands are touching your body, that's fine. Long neck, make sure the neck is in the same alignment as the rest of your spine. Deep breaths, filling up the lungs and chest. Notice that stretch again across the chest. Okay, we're going to release the fingers, sweep them out and up. We're going to flow from here. This is an inhale. Exhale, swan dive. And monkey pose, long flat back, extend. Exhale, fold, bend, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you'd like, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Whatever back bend you choose here, see if the shoulders can continue to roll back, squeeze the imaginary pencil. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving at your own pace, and inhale to extend right leg up behind you, bend and twist open. This is a quick one. Then you'll unwind it, step through, warrior one. Right foot forward, left heel to the ground, rising up. Your exhale to warrior two. Set yourself up, hold. That's it. Let's reverse the warrior here. So your right palm flips up, reach up. That's it, yeah. Now you can literally just reach straight up, okay? Or if you can, you can get that little side bend or back bend towards the back wall if you'd like. Whatever feels okay on your back and hip. A little added movement here. You're going to bring the right hand down behind you, your right hand just behind your head. Okay, then point up with the elbow. Point with the elbow. And just notice if there's any sensation down through the tricep muscle, down to the latissimus muscle, Okay, right along, it's part of your back, but you might feel it around the armpit area. Okay, just kind of stretching more back muscles. Then a big cartwheel or windmill, straighten the arms, windmill around and forward, hands to the floor in front. We'll step back, plank pose. Hold plank. We're going to reopen to the right side of the room, right side plank. So left hand will go up into the air. First time we brought the right knee to the floor. You can do the same thing. You can bring the knee to the floor, or maybe you can keep the legs straight. If they are straight, flex the feet. That'll, fire up the legs to keep them strong. You can stack the feet or stagger the feet. Staggering them will help with the balance. Breathe in. That's nice. Exhale a slow return to plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Or any flow you want to right here to get you back into down dog. Inhale to extend left leg up into the air. Bend and twist open. A little hip opener, a little spinal rotation. Unwind here with an exhale. Step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Reaching high, exhale, opening to warrior two. That's it. Arrive, make your adjustments. Reverse your warrior, flip your left palm up. Reach perhaps straight up. You might even be reaching or extending this left arm slightly forward, just depending on how this feels on your back. Inside body and hips, or reach behind you. Okay, then we're going to drop that left hand behind the head and see if we can point upward with the elbow. Point. Lift. Notice what's happening down through the whole left side of your body. Yeah, send breath into that section. Good, very nice breathing. Let's re-extend the arms, big windmill, all the way around to the floor in front. Step back. There's plank. Stay there. Now left side plank, reopening to the right side of the room. Yes, your left knee can come to the ground, or experiment with straight legs, stacked or staggered. In either case, flex the feet, energize the feet because it fires up the legs. So you can mobilize and hold here. That's it. Strong. Breathe in. Exhale, slow return. Light landing to the earth, plank pose. Finish your sequence. Finish in down dog. Bring the knees to the floor. You're going to sit back briefly in hero, but you're going to rise up onto the knees. Just lift up. Now you can keep the feet flat back there or tuck your toes. We're just going to do a modified camel pose. It's a back bend. Alrighty? You're just going to bring your hands to your low back. I usually use my fists. You can use your thumbs. You can use your palms. Just below the belt line. And with the hands, you're actively kind of pressing downward and somewhat forward. Actively downward, gently forward. That's just when we push downward, we inhale and feel the torso lifting up, so we have a lot more space in the low back. Then the exhale, we kind of gently push forward, keeping hips over the knees, and we tip back a little bit. Okay, so this is our modified camel pose. It's a back bend. You can stay just like this. If you have a little bit more room to move into, go ahead and take it a little deeper, but not necessary. Wherever you are, you want to feel like there's a string attached to the very top of your sternum, right in the middle of the chest, and it's lifting you up. Okay? So rather than thinking about bending backward, think about lifting upward. 2 more breaths. After the second breath, just rise back up, soften, fold. Just bring hands to the floor. We're going to go to child's pose. You might bring hands to the floor. You might even take your knees a little wider if you'd like, and then sit back. At first, this might be an active child's pose, meaning you're going to extend your arms outward, out in front of you, kind of this lengthening sensation. So you have that quality of the spine, your torso getting longer after being in that back bend. And there might be even a mild roundedness in the back, and that's fine for this pose too. If you need to soften or want to soften this, You can bring the hands behind you, as if you're reaching for your feet. Your forehead might just rest on the floor so that your arms and shoulders can just relax. And always knowing that this is a pose you can come to anytime, anytime. Two more breaths. Good. If your hands are behind you, you might just bring them out front. Just help you lift up to hands and knees. Feel free to take a cat and cow flow here if you want. Eventually you'll just sit back down, just going to take a regular seat. So after your little spinal undulation there, maybe hero, and then just take a seat, bring the legs around to the front. Maybe just come to cobbler's pose just to get into the hips a little bit. I want to demonstrate something. We are going to come back to our bridge pose. Let me just show you. So here's my bridge. I do like to take my feet wider. Breathing in to fill up the lungs. Exhale to engage, giving the power and energy to lift. And we'll see if we can all come here where we've got the elbows bent and just using the backs of the arms, triceps and shoulders to press into the floor. I'm even trying to get my arms a little bit underneath me, squeezing shoulder blades together towards center, but rooting down so I can stay lifted. Now this is where we'll start, and you can end right here. If you want to add on, here's the addition. Stay lifted, still using the arms to root down, but I'm going to change my arm posturing, basically flip my hands back, okay? Just there, okay? Staying like that. I like to spin my hands out, maybe to crown of head, another adjustment, and maybe lifting to a wheel pose. These are all optional, okay? When you're coming back down, you're going to tuck chin in towards chest so you can land lightly there and come out of the pose. So bridge into wheel if you'd like to, okay? So go ahead and comfortably, slowly roll on back, onto your back there. You're scooting forward. You can hug knees into chest first. Some movement. When you're ready, you can set your feet onto the ground, either hip distance apart or wider. There. Breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, and float away. Good. Using the arms. Okay, again, maybe if you're able, getting the arms and shoulders a bit underneath you. That might require this rocking sensation left and right a few times. That's it. Okay. Even imagine that you're still trying to squeeze that pencil. There. Okay, so we have the elbows bent. We're rooting into the earth with the triceps and shoulders. Stay there, or you're going to change your hand posture, your arm posture, so you're going to kind of flip the palms back. You can take the hands wider, just as your feet might be wider. You can take your hands wider, even spin your fingers or palms outward, just so it feels better on your wrists. Maybe rise, push into the floor. With an exhale, lift to the crown of your head. Make another adjustment with your hands. Press even more to lift up. The adjustment of the hands is really to get your arms at a good 90 degrees so you have good leverage if you're continuing to lift yourself up. When you're ready to come down, tuck your chin in towards your chest so you can land not on the top of your head but more in the neck area and roll your way down. Nice, everybody. Once you've made it back down to the earth, extend the entire body. Extend the legs out front, arms behind you, reach and stretch. Well done. We're hugging both knees into chest. Rock forward and back. Exhale for energy and movement so you can come up to your seated position. Boat pose. Long spine, feel lifted. Hold on for the duration or play with releasing because you can always go back to holding on. Maybe straight legs, pointed toes. Breathe in. And our exhale, we'll cross legs, hands in front or to the side. Hop or step back, plank pose. Right side plank onto the right hand, opening up to the left side of the room. Yes, of course, you can still bring knee to the ground, all good. If the legs are straight, flex the feet, even straighten the legs more. If the knees are bending, you'll feel less stable. Straighter legs, flexed feet, yes. Transition here. You might stagger the feet, left foot in front of the right foot. Breathe in. We're going to exhale. You're going to bring this left arm, left elbow, forearm down to the floor. Can you see me? Right here. And I'm just spinning to the other side of the room. I'm on my forearm side plank, left side. We're breathing in. And the exhale, we're bringing the right elbow to the floor. So we're in plank pose on our elbows. Okay? I'm saying elbows, but you really want to have weight more towards your forearms and hands, not your elbows. So a little shift forward if you're able. Hold. Rooting into the earth. Strong arms, strong upper body. Bring the knees to the floor. Walk your hands back to your knees. We're coming back up onto the knees, going back to our camel pose. Okay? Making sure your hip alignment, right over the knees there. Choose your foot formation back there. We'll do the same thing. We'll just support it with the hands. And inhale to push down, feel tall and lifted. Exhale, gentle push forward, lean back. Stay just like that. If you have another one in you, inhale, push down, lift up through the sternum. Exhale, bend back a tiny bit, not much. Hold here. And if you want to go further, here's another step you could take. You can bring your hands to your hamstrings. But still feel like you're being lifted through the sternum. Of course, you can bring the hands down to your heels. I say your heels if you're on your toes. It's a deeper back bend if you start walking your hands towards your calves. So more area to play with here. One more breath. We're coming up out of the pose. We're going back to our child's pose. So sit back, hands and knees wide. Sit back, stretch, make it active, lengthen here. We're not going to stay here too long. It's just an opportunity to re-extend after being in that back bend. We go back to our shoulder work. 2 more breaths. Come back up to hands and knees. Another cat-cow if you'd like. But eventually, plank pose. Pressing strongly into the earth with the hands, strong straight arms. Left side plank onto the left hand, opening up to the right side of the room. Left knee can come to the floor. Strong straight legs. If you're using straight legs, make sure they are straight. Okay. Less bend in the knees. Yes, flex the feet, stacked or staggered. So one foot can be in front of the other. Yeah, play with lifting the foot. Good. There it is. Okay. Stagger the feet here. You're going to breathe in. Exhale. You're going to bring the right forearm to the floor so you can open up to the other side of the room. Right side plank on the forearm. Same thing. Yeah, a leg can be on the floor. It still works. You have a little bend in the body. That's fine. There, breathe in. Here we go. Exhale slowly. Left arm to the floor. Stay here. I call it dolphin plank because you're in plank pose, but it's dolphin arms. Okay. Yes, good. Now it's okay if the hips are slightly lifted, not too high, okay, but certainly not too low. Okay, you don't want to feel like you're sinking into your low back. That's it, Chris. Right there. You want to feel flat like a very low 60s coffee table. You know how they were really low. Knees to the floor. Slide your hands to your knees. Up onto the knees, back to camel. Okay? Okay, one more camel pose. Tuck toes or flat feet. Support the back. Breathe in, lift. Exhale, gentle push, lean back. Again, this could always just be the end. If you have a little bit more space, gently, I'd say just walk down the body, because it will put you more into a back bend. You don't have to go farther back. It's just your hand positioning, really. If you get to the heels, that's going to take you more into a back bend. Okay, if you bring your hands to your calves, more back bend. Always lifting up. One more breath. Okay, we're coming back up. Fold hands to the floor, knees wide, child's pose. Get that good extension. Nice. 2 more breaths. Rise up to hero. If you can stick around in hero, stay here, or just take a regular seat while I demonstrate one more thing. So whenever you're ready, rise up so you can see me here. We are going to come back to a down dog. Here's my left leg lifting into the air. Just watch. I'm doing a little bend and twist. This is my left leg. I'm rotating open towards my left side. But it's going to put a little bend in this right elbow. As you're able, you're going to bring that right elbow to the floor. We're going to bring this leg down. This knee might even touch the floor, and it can even stay on the ground, okay, for a side plank, okay? Or you might be able to extend that leg. Okay, do we get that transition? So it's a down dog, hip opener, brought the elbow down, brought this leg down. It's okay if that knee bends, open or straight. Back to our dolphin plank. Okay? All right, downward facing dog. So hands out front, hips in the air. Let's go for it. Inhale, extend right leg up, yeah? Bend and twist. You can stay just like this, or if you're able, start feeling the bend of the left elbow. It's coming down to the floor. Maybe it'll reach the ground. Yes, there you go. That's the way to do it. And bring that right leg down. That left knee might even touch the ground. Okay. Then opening up sideways towards the right side of the room. There you go. And then dolphin plank. So right elbow will come to the floor. Both elbows on the floor. On your toes, perhaps. Since we're in dolphin plank, take a dolphin. Tiptoe forward, bend the knees, lift the hips. Just a breath. Return to down dog. You can always bring knees to the floor first, then come up onto your hands, lift knees and hips. Here's our down dog. So I'll do the other side with you. So an inhale, extend left leg into the air, left leg, bend and twist. You're kind of leaning a little bit to the right arm, so bend that right arm. So your elbow comes to the floor. Good lift of that left knee towards the sky, that's it. We're going to bring that left leg down. You might even bring the right knee to the floor since it's right there. Okay? Continue to open sideways towards your left side of the room. You're still on your forearm. You can extend both legs, just kind of step into place there. There you go. Breathe in. And our exhale, left arm to the floor. Both arms here. Dolphin plank, hold. Tiptoe to dolphin. Hips high. Just for a breath. Set the knees down. Sit back into hero. Okay? So sit back, rise up. Get your block, if you have a block, and just bring it out somewhere out in front of you. This is going to come a little bit later. Okay? Because you might need it. I know I need it for the next pose. But then come to hands and knees. We're going to thread the needle. So I think this is nice shoulder work. Nice stretch for the shoulders. So hands and knees. This is how we'll start. Look at your right hand. You're going to step the right hand forward just a little bit. You're going to spin the palm in just a little bit. Look at your middle finger and have the middle finger point towards the imaginary 11 on a clock. And then step your right hand slightly to the right side, just a little bit. Might be on the edge of your mat. Then we can extend the left arm out to the left side of the room. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle so it'll come down and behind the right arm as it bends. Bend the right elbow to about 90 degrees. You might need to adjust the hand a little bit more. Come all the way down into your left shoulder. Your left arm can come all the way to the floor. Now this might be fine here. I don't know if you guys can see me, but what you'll do if you want is lean a little bit more to the left knee, your left knee. Pick up the right leg and extend the right leg back, but keep the toes on the floor. And you're going to swing that right foot over towards your left hand. It's probably just extending out there. You can see your hand. So just swing that foot in that direction. We're just sending more weight over there so you can actually lean back onto the left shoulder a little bit more. It kind of triggers more of the back side of the shoulder if you lean back. But you need that leg out there for balance. Otherwise, you'll just topple over. So it's kind of like acupressure, the pressure of the shoulder a little bit into the ground. Yes. 2 more breaths. And we'll just take it in reverse. So slide the right foot back and bring that knee to the floor. The right arm or hand just push into the floor because it's a right angle to help you lift so you can unthread the needle. Okay, and so the left arm can reach out to the left side and bring the left hand to the floor. Adjust the hands right here. We'll set up for the other side. So step the left hand forward a little bit. Spin the palm in, fingers pointing towards the imaginary 1 or 2, and step the left hand to the left side slightly. Now this might change. But then inhale, extend your right arm out to the right side of the room. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm all the way to the floor. Adjust the left hand. So when I do this, my shoulder doesn't quite reach the floor. So that's why I like to lean a little bit more into the right knee. So I can extend the left leg back and then swing it around towards the right hand, putting more weight in that direction so I can lean backward onto my right shoulder a bit more. Well done. 2 more breaths. Take it in reverse. Swing that left foot back. Bring the knee to the floor. Use the left hand to help you lift, unthread. Extend the right arm out and to the floor. Tabletop. And come back to plank. Step the toes back. Straight legs. You can come all the way down to your belly. You can still bring the knees to the floor first. You're going to come all the way down to your belly if you're able. If not, we'll give you another option here. If you're unable to lie on your belly, extend the arms out to the side like a capital T. Now you can always change the angle of the arms here. Let's start by bringing the right hand underneath the right shoulder. You're going to push into the floor with the right hand. You'll roll onto your left side. This will affect the left shoulder. This is where that block can come in handy if you want your head to be hanging here. Maybe bring that block in to rest your head on. For balance, what you could do is I'm picking up the right leg, bending the knee, turning the knee to point towards the ceiling, and setting the foot down behind the left leg. It kind of just balances my body as my right hand's in front, but now I have the right foot behind. So we're getting into the front portion of that shoulder that you're kind of rolling on there. And again, you can change the angle as needed. Well done. Breath. 2 more breaths. And then slowly coming out of your posture. Use that right hand, kind of rolling back out onto the belly. Extend the arms. Bring the left hand in underneath the shoulder. Whenever you're ready, adjusting the right arm, choosing the right angle, okay, the correct angle. And push to roll onto your right side. Use the block for headrest as needed. That's it. And you might lift that left leg, bend the knee, set the foot down behind you, just for a little balance. And it helps you to maneuver the body, because you can certainly get deeper into that stretch by leaning back more, or kind of rolling forward towards your belly to soften. Nice. 2 more breaths. Okay, and your careful return to the belly. Both hands underneath the shoulders. Push back to hands and knees. Cat-cow. About a total of 3 breaths. And when you're complete, you might sit back briefly into hero, sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front. Scoot way forward, front portion of your mat. Stay there for a second, just relax. What we're going to do, just watch me. We're going to just extend the legs. You can just lie down and extend the legs up, okay? Or grab a block, prep for a bridge, but slide a block or 2 underneath you, and then extend the legs, okay? Or, since you're sitting at the front of the mat, roll back, take legs and hips up into the air for shoulder stand. You might even take that to plow or a partial plow pose. Okay? So choose your inverted posture. I like the block, using the block, because it just angles the body just right. Helps keep the legs straight up. And you can even take what I would call just kind of a mild plow pose, even if you're sitting on the block. Just send the legs, the weighted legs, kind of towards the back of the room just a little bit. And that I would consider that, it doesn't have, your hips don't have to leave the block at all. Just kind of let the legs heavily lean back, I guess, for a variation of plow. Okay, if you are in shoulder stand, you can take plow. You can keep the legs straight as the feet come down behind you towards the floor. Your toes might touch the floor, or bend the knees quite a bit and the knees kind of come close to the forehead. Alrighty, so again, more variations. Just take 2 more breaths. Okay, wherever you are, you're going to gently, slowly take your time to come out of your inverted posture. Move your props, come all the way down onto your back. And extend the body, extend the legs out front, reach the arms behind you briefly. Just going to come to fish pose, 1 more back bend. Okay. Once you've got that stretch, bring your arms to your side, but then you're going to lie on top of your arms, which means you have to kind of lift up a little bit, rock left and right several times, get your arms underneath you. And again, it might allow you to squeeze the shoulder blades together once again. So you're sitting on your hands, your palms are down, you end up sitting on your hands. Long legs, point your toes just to activate the legs. Push into the floor with the backs of the arms to lift your upper body like you're lifting up out of bed. And then arch your back. And perhaps, depending on how high you are, if you're high up on the elbows, your head will tip back, but the head won't touch the floor. But if you're kind of low, you can arch the back, the crown of your head, the top of your head may touch the ground, but make sure it's touching very lightly. A couple more deep breaths. Okay, and just like in Camel, where you're breathing into the sternum, feeling lifted towards the ceiling, it's a similar sensation here. 1 more breath. Nice. So if you are in that posture, you're going to lift the head, tuck the chin in towards chest in fish pose, lying down, Release the arms. Let the body relax. Nice. Now you can just stay here for the duration in Shavasana or take some more poses. You might draw knees in. I'll just throw out some options. You can draw your knees in. You can take your spinal twists, maybe a hip opener or two. Okay. Whatever you'd like to do. Maybe just listen for a moment. Listen to what your body is saying. Listen for what it may need at this time. Okay. So maybe a hip opener, a twist, maybe another back bend, or maybe it's time to relax. If that is the time, find a comfortable position that, yes, it could be Shavasana, it could be any other pose that you feel that's relaxing and rejuvenating. Wherever you are, if you're still in motion or if you're in stillness, just be aware of your breath. Whenever you feel complete with your movements, give yourself the time for complete release and relaxation. Return to the awareness of your breath. Just simply notice your breathing. And as you get reacquainted with your breath, take 5 slow, steady breaths. As you're breathing, take a moment to acknowledge your practice. Some dynamic movements as we got into our shoulders, into our back body. Feel movement return to your body. And the breath just generating energy. When you're ready, slowly and carefully roll onto one side of your body. Continuing to move in slow motion, just rise up to a seated posture. Nice and tall, lengthened spine. Your arms can just relax by your side. Hands can rest in your lap if you'd like, or bring hands to heart center. Wherever you are, just taking another full breath in. Exhale completely. Nice. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste. Namaste.